We're gonna place some bets. Who is gonna be the nominee? I gotta go with Gavin Newsom, right? We gotta do the Democrat. We gotta do the Democrat nomination and the Republican nomination. Oh, look at that. Which party will win the U.S. House of Representatives? Obviously Democrats, right? Obviously Democrats. Estimated cost. What? Your cost was reduced to give you an even dollar payout. Includes a fee of 2 cents. You're buying one contract at 79 cents. If you're right, the payout is expected. So I bet $1. I bet $1, and if I'm right, I get $1. What does that mean? No. Are you kidding me? That's dumb. Who will be the Republican nominee? I gotta go with Marco. So if I'm right, I get $2. And if I'm wrong, I get $1. What? What? You can sell too, right? So if I'm right, I get $2. But if I'm wrong, I get $1, and the odds are 50-50. What about Marco? I wanna bet on Marco. Like, he's pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. $1 on Marco. Yes. Cool. And for the Democratic nominee, Jon Stewart? More market. AOC, how old is she? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone wants her as president, though. 36. Okay, so if she runs, she's going to be youngest one. If she wins, then she's going to be youngest president. Gotta go with Gavin Newsom. Who will win the party? Obviously the Democrats, but that's an obvious bet. What if I say no? $1? Alright. What else can I bet on? Sports? Culture? Who will win the Beast Games? No, I don't know. Who will attend the State of the Union? I don't know. Like, Nick Shirley's a Mormon, right? He does a lot of work for the Republican Party, but I don't think he's fun at the parties. So I don't think they'd invite him. Crypto, no. Climate, economics. Decision, Fed maintains rate. Cuts by 25 base points. But man, I feel like the decision's already made, but if I bet $1, I get $10. That's 10x. That's 10x, bro. 46. If they cut by 25, more than 25, that's $46. But I don't know. US GDP growth. How much are we going to grow by? So if I say more than 22.5, I get $1. If it's more than 3.5 or 3.0, I get $1. So it's not worth it. It's not worth anything. Let's not bet on that. People are saying we're going to grow by... Huh. So here it says we have a pretty good chance of growing above 3.0, right? It's a 58% chance that we grow above 3.0. And here it says 96% that we're going to go to 2.1 to 2.5. That's a good bet. Yeah. That's a pretty good bet. Okay, what about over 3.0? Yeah, fuck it. Let's place the dollar here. And let's place the dollar there. Oh yeah. So if we're right, if we're right, the upsides are so big that you just have to take it. All right, what is the least likely? What about 5.1, which is pretty much impossible? Nothing? All right. Yeah, we're only bidding like $10, so. Midterm balance of power. Well, the Democrats are going to hold, or the Democrats are going to take the House. So if we bet $1 here, we get $2 back. And then the question is the Democrats going to take the Senate? So if we bet $1 on both of these, then that's a loss because of the fees, right? It's going to be one of these two, but the fees are going to take it. So that's going to be a net loss. Job numbers this month, I don't know. Gas prices. Gas prices. Above 2.9. What about below 2.9? If we bet $1 here, we get $1 back. If we bet above 2.9, get $1 back. Above 3. Okay, what is it right now? Gas prices in the US. What is it? It's 2.92 to 2.94 today. I don't think it's going to change that much. Might even go lower because of Venezuela. Yeah, it's not worth it. We put in $1, we get $1 back, and then we pay the fees. And we say above 2.9. Yeah, it's not worth it. Fuck it. It has to be at least 2x. Initial jobless claims. Number of rate cuts. Exactly 2 cuts. Or here's the other thing we can do. We can say something like the Republicans in Senate are obviously not going to win, right? So we can sell this contract. Your position, none. Oh yeah, we can't do that. We can't short it. The Senate matchup. It's Corn versus Paxton, I think. Oh wait, it's talking about not the primaries. It's looking like Talarico. It's not worth it. Maybe it's worth it. Jasmine Crockett? Really? She's gonna run for Senate? No way. Yeah, she's the stupidest person. How high will unemployment get? Above 5? This is the forecast. Right, above 5, I get $2. Above 6, we get $4. Above 7. What about below 4? Anything below 4? So it's going to be like 4 to 5. It's not going to be above 5, obviously. I can say no? I can say no. But it's not worth it. What will the People's Bank of China do at the February? Maintain rate, cut. France, nominal GDP, don't know. Recession this year? Okay, how do you define recession? Because if you want to go by unemployment, it's been going up since 2023, so technically that's a recession. How are you going to define recession? So if I say yes, that's $4. If I say no, that's $1. So most likely no. I don't know. Like, how are you going to define a recession? So I'm not going to take that. UK unemployment, how much will the US debt increase to? 125-ish. And that number isn't here. What if I say no? Get $1. So I'm just putting in $1 to lose it. If more than 130, then it's $31. Also, people were saying we're going to go by 3 to 4% of GDP. So it might even be lower than 120. How much will the government increase spending? I don't know. Fund rate after March meeting. Don't know. Unemployment in February. There we go. It's hard to pinpoint. Above 4.1. Above 4.3. That's $2. Above 4.4. That's $6. We could place some bets on these two. But no. Will eggs prices go up? China nominal GDP, US credit rating downgrade? Wait. This is an easy one. So if I say yes, I get $2. If I say no, I get $1 back. But it usually is stupid to bet on both, right? It's not going to be $1. You're buying one contract at 68 cents. The market will close when the event occurs. If you're right, the payout... Okay, so... this year. So we're going to see the results at the end of the year. Okay, no. Blue wave? Yes. Obviously, yes. But I don't make any money from it. And it's going up. Blue wave, it was at 60% and it's going up. Also, what is considered a blue wave? Like, how many seats? Do Fed rate cuts greater than 25 basis points? I don't know. How high will inflation get this year? At least 3%. Will Elon Musk become a trillionaire before 27? I don't know. CPI core. Trump's dream year. What does that mean? 2026, Trump's dream year. How do you define dream year? What do you mean a dream year? Rule summary, all of the following curve. Trump's vote hub approval rating rises above. No way. No way. Trump's vote hub approval rating rises above 48%. This is on Vote Hub. His approval rating above 48. Maybe. And Republicans retain control of both houses. No fucking way. No way. And Senate after the midterms and US GDP growth is above 5% in the quarter between Q4 and Q 2026. And the US unemployment stays below 5%. And the market resolves yes. Sources from Vote Hub. Yeah, no fucking way this is gonna happen. It's stupid. Wait. What if I vote no? Okay, so nothing. How many dissenting votes? Dissenting votes. I don't know what that is. Blue tsunami this year? Yes. Blue tsunami. What does that mean? All of the following occurred. Democrats hold 235 or more seats in the House after 2026 midterms, and Democrats hold 51 or more seats in the Senate. Outcome verified from U.S. How many do they have right now? Oh, no, not Texas. By party. Why does it say Texas? Party breakdown. Vacant 3 seats. Democratic Party has 214. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to bet on it. But I don't know if we should. $2? That's not enough. That's not enough, bro. Will Trump cut corporate rates? Nope. CPI, NAS, NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. Do a circuit break? No. Bank of Canada rate decisions in March. When will the next U.S. recession start? Define recession. If NBER declares peak of American business activity preceding a recession to be in Q1 2026, the market resolves yes. Outcome verified from NBER. Business Cycle Data Committee announcements. So this is the site that announces recessions. Yeah, I don't think so. IRS collect more taxes this year than last year, obviously. Yes. No shit. Who will become the first trillionaire? Obviously Elon Musk. Bank of Korea, don't care. Who will be the 3 wealthiest people in the world? By what date? If Sergey Brin is one of the wealthiest people in the world by 2026, the market resolves yes. Alright, what if I say Sergey Brin? He says top 3. I don't know. Will Trump bring back manufacturing? How do you determine that? If the value added by manufacturing to GDP in Q4 2028 is at least 13%, the market resolves yes. Outcome verified by BEA. What is it right now? If the value added by manufacturing... Okay, why is it by percentage though? Why is it not by like total value? Right now it's 9 to 10%. The value was at Q1 2005. The market resolves yes. In 3 years? 2 years. Q4, so almost 3. In 3 years, he has to increase it by 3%. And not 3 years, but maybe a little bit. Okay, what if I say yes? Oh no. In 3 years, we grow by 3%. In Q3 2025, manufacturing accounted for approximately 9.5% of total, a drop from 11%. So it's going down. Right, show me a chart. Manufacturing as a percentage of GDP. They said we peaked in 2005. And it's saying that if we go back to the peak, which took like 20 years. So it took 20 years to go from 13% to 9%. And then this is... so obviously, no. Obviously, no. He's not going to bring it back to 13%. Which countries will have a recession before 2027? Japan, UK, China. If UK has 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, verified by IMF. It's impossible. Everyone has inflation right now, so that's going to be impossible. Even if you have a recession, like, inflation is going to hide that. European Central Bank decision, will rates hit 0 this year? Obviously no. How high will 30-year mortgage rate be? 6%, don't know. Indian unemployment, don't know. How high will gas prices get this year? That goes to like 2.5 sometimes. It says below. It says average. Who will descend at March 2026 FOMC meeting? Brazilian growth? I don't know anything about Brazil. Will there be a Trump economic boom? They're saying yes. 66%? What does that mean? An economic boom is defined by any quarter from Q1 2025 to Q4 2028 having GDP growth above 5%. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Like even during Biden years, you had a few 5%. China overtakes US economy. The chances are 24. So in 4 years, China has to grow GDP by 50% at least. That's not going to happen. Well, it's China, right? It's China, so they're at 20 trillion right now, and if they grow by 5% for 5 years, yeah, it's not going to happen. They'll be at $25 trillion. How low will California prices be? Gas prices? China unemployment. You know they rigged the numbers, right? They can just say, oh, we're at 4%, we're at 3%. They can rig the numbers. I'd say 4% if I could. No contracts they built. You gotta be kidding me. Actually, we can just do that. We can just say no. Right? Well, what is the Chinese GDP? Outcome verified by trading economics. This event is directional. So it's 5% no matter what. If Chinese unemployment rate is above 5%. So if I say no, here, I get $1. If I say no to 5.1%, I get $3. I think that's a pretty good trade-off. Yeah. That's pretty good risk to reward. I'm going to take it. Because they usually dip below 5%, right? Or no. They sometimes hit 5%. But if it does hit 5%, it's 3x. I want to say no here, but that's not worth it. I don't know. Let's not take it. You know what? It's $1. $1, right? Do $1. Costco raises hot dog. No fucking way. No. I'm gonna say no to that, bro. Will Kai-san? No. Will Roy Lee become billionaire? No. Will Trump reduce inequality in the US? Yes. Will IMF declare global recession before 2027? Global recession? Whoa. Yes. 5x. 2027. a global recession. Like COVID? No, I don't know. Maybe 2028, but not 2027. And especially not before 2027. Canada nominal GDP, don't know. Central bank, inflation, how high will gas prices be? In New York, don't know. Climate, mentions. What is this? I don't know anything about it. Companies? Best AI this month? Best AI this month. How are you going to track that? If Anthropic has top-ranked LLM, is verified by large language model arena leaderboard, remove style control. This month? This month. By the end of this month, February 2028, that's in 10 days. And if I vote no, it's $3. If I say Gemini, it's $3, so I might as well go no, because it could be Grok, it could be Gemini. $C preview. The top ranked in 10 days? Alright, when does Gemini release? When is the next update? When is the next model expected to release? The next major model would be as of late 2026. What to expect in the meantime, expected improvements in agentic workflows, reasoning. Okay, so no announcements. Yeah, I don't know. So the chances are that Claude's gonna remain at the top. Who will successfully take over Warner Bros? Tesla deliveries? It's too small of a margin. Will Reza Pahlavi lead Iran this year? Yes. No. No. This dude's a bum. What's his name? This is a bum. Like, he's begging the US and the West for support, but he's not doing anything. Like, he's not leading the military. He's not talking to the Iranians. He's not talking to the leadership. Like, he's not doing anything. He's a bum. He's not going to do anything. All he does is go out on the stage and give talks. I want this guy on the ground. And until then, no support. I'm going to say no. That's $1. It's not worth it. You're not going to lead Iran. He's not the guy. Which companies will officially announce an IPO this year? More markets. SpaceX, OpenAI is 50%. What? Discord, what? Discord? Is Discord going public soon? Yes, very soon. Discord confidently filed for an IPO on January 26. According to people familiar with this matter, companies working with Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan as underwriters, over 200 monthly active users, targeting Q1 debut. You said this year? What other companies are going IPO. That goes under the radar. Here's some under the radar that aren't getting as much mainstream attention as big names at OpenAI or SpaceX. Strava is a fitness tracking app most people use but don't think about it as business. Cohere, an AI company flying under the radar compared to OpenAI and Anthropic. Cohere focuses on sovereign and secure AI for enterprises and government with customers like Oracle. Cohere. Do we have Cohere? No, we don't. Mr. Beast Industries? No. Yes. If this court confirms an IPO, then the market resolves yes. If they confirm it, and Jersey Mike's, right? Anthropic? What about Anthropic? Are you going IPO? Yes. The company that makes me is actively preparing an IPO. Here's the latest. Valuation and funding is now valued at $380 billion. What? In its latest funding round, led by Singaporean wealth fund, along with dozens of major investors, this puts it alongside OpenAI, SpaceX, as one of the most three valuable startups in the world. IPO preparations. Anthropic has retained Wilson Sonsini Goodrich and Rosati, the law firm that manages Google's IPO. Revenue growth is projecting to more than double, potentially nearly triple. Okay, so, all right. Kraken too. Kraken, bro. My dog is here. Recent drama: CEO fired just last week. Kraken fired CEO. Is preparing public to list. It's a notable shakeup to close an IPO. A SPAC move. On top of its own IPO, Kraken affiliated SPAC called Crackposition Corp. Filed for $250 million. Okay, so if I say no, I'm betting that it's gonna fail. Deal, what is deal? Databricks, schemes, and drill. I want to say yes, but I don't think it's this year. What about Andrill? If Andrill confirms an IPO before January 2027, market resolves yes. It's fascinating. One of the hottest defense tech companies right now, but IPO isn't imminent. Why they're waiting? He's skeptical? Or people are skeptical. He wants to prove the impossible first. I want to do the impossible and say, look, we did it. All you have to do is bet we can do it again. Specifically, he's pointing to their massive Ohio manufacturing facility. Andrew plans to manufacture products, and Lucky wants to prove that works before going public. Alright, so it's going to take a while. So the obvious bet here would be no. Beast Industries? I don't think so, not yet. Maybe Stripe. What are some other major companies preparing IPO? SpaceX, Elon Musk confirmed reports of potential IPO. With multiple outlets suggesting it could raise more than $30 billion. Canva, ByteDance and TikTok for $80 billion. Stripe, Plaid, Revolut, e-commerce chain. Is aiming for 2026 or 2027. So what? Quantum, no. And Cerebras Analytics expected it to return to public market, bolstered by what? It return? Is returning? So they were delisted at one point? Databricks has appeared in IPO watchlist for years and recently raised over $4 billion. Databricks is here. If I say yes, that's $1. No, if I say no. If I say yes, that's $2. Kind of risky. Okay, so they plan to go in public in 2024, but it was postponed. Just days after closing, $1.1 billion in funding. OpenAI valued at $500 billion and rumored to be targeting $1 trillion in listing with the potential debut in 26 or 27. OpenAI, if I say yes, that's $1. If I say no, that's $2. Risk to reward isn't there. It's 1-to-1 plus the fees. Discord. So it's pretty much confirmed that Discord is going IPO, right? Let me see. What are some potential hiccups that could stall Discord IPO? Discord? They recently had that controversy, right, with the Face ID thing. Market conditions, monetization concerns, because the challenge is the gap between massive user base and relatively modest monetization metrics. Revenue per user remains low compared to subscription-focused peers. Macro and market volatility, Discord tried to pursue in early 2025. Chaos in the U.S. federal government, Doge-inspired budget cuts, and end-of-year federal shutdowns scared off IPO hopefuls. Tariffs, shutdown risk, AI trade uncertainty. Well, all is that risk premium going into any listing, child safety, and regulatory scrutiny. One of the most serious challenges is in regulatory pressure related to child safety. Multiple U.S. governments have questioned whether Discord's safeguards are sufficient given the real-time nature of its communications and scale of its user base. This is likely to feature prominent in any IPO roadshow. Competition, intensifying competition from Slack, Microsoft, Telegram, and WhatsApp community to compress Discord's valuation multiples closer to 15 to 20 billion. then 25 billion. Leadership transitioning. Investors tend to scrutinize late-stage companies going public for evidence of management stability. Discord recently went through a significant leadership change, with Humam Saknini replacing co-founder Jason Citron as CEO. Geopolitical risk. The ripple effect. This quarter's IPO flops, pricing below 8 billion or trading down. It could freeze the broader IPO market, leaving hundreds of unicorns like Notion. Okay, so what are the chances? The chances that Discord cancels IPO? Great question. The case 4 going through, higher probability. Discord has already filed with the SEC. That's serious. Costly commitment that companies don't usually make. So that's a yes. They're going public. What about Jersey Mike's? Fun one. Surprisingly compelling IPO story. Here's a full picture. One of the most straightforward IPO stories. Proven brand with consistent growth rather than money-losing tech company. Asking investors to bet on the future. What are the chances that it gets cancelled? Based on everything we know, Jersey Mike is actually one of the lower risk IPO candidates. Case going for it, very high probability. SpaceX though? SpaceX is going public? What about the chances SpaceX cancels IPO? This one's different. The case against cancellation, very strong. Musk himself publicly confirmed IPO plans on December 25 via tweet. That's about as official as it gets from him. SpaceX is now reporting targeting mid to June 26 for debut, seeking to raise up to 50 billion, at least 1.5 trillion. God damn. 1.5 trillion IPO, which will make it one of the largest IPO in history, surpassing Saudi Aramco's 29 billion record. SpaceX is actively discussing dual-class share infrastructure, meaning serious structural IPO plans. Okay, so it's very strong. Musk himself, a publicly traded SpaceX, means shareholders would have a voice in company decisions, which creates tensions with Musk, who is not fond of checks on his authority. He resisted going public for 2 decades for exactly this reason: valuation skepticism, political exposure, XAI merger complications. SpaceX's recent acquisition of XAI ties 2 companies together. So this one, I could actually see getting cancelled. Just OpenAI, Jersey Mike's, SpaceX, Discord, and what was the last one? Anthropic. What is this? Deal? No. Chances of canceling IPO in 2026. Jersey Mike's 8% chance of cancellation, cleanest story of the bunch. 12% chance of cancellation, strong revenue growth, massive investor backing, and race against OpenAI. Discord, 18%, already filed with the SEC, has top underwriters locked in. SpaceX, 23%. Fundamentals are incredible, but Musk is the wild card. He resists going public for 2 decades, and the 1.5 trillion valuation is generally hard to defend on paper. Financial need, 40-50 billion likely keeps it on the track, but Musk changing his mind is never off the table. The complex situation of this group, ongoing restructuring from non-profit to a for-profit entity is a legal mess. Elon's lawsuit against the company creates uncertainty, regulatory scrutiny. Okay, so if I bet against it, if I say no, I get $2. If I say yes, I get $1. So SpaceX and OpenAI. And the rest, I don't know. I'm going to say SpaceX doesn't get IPO because Elon Musk could say, tomorrow or next year. Yeah. And I'm going to say OpenAI because they're losing revenue. They're getting their ass kicked by everyone. Could possibly get canceled. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Alright. When will Starlink officially announce IPO? Okay, Starlink is part of SpaceX though, right? When will SpaceX officially announce IPO? Could get canceled. What if I just say never? Officially announced by September. Do companies target a specific month for IPO? Yes, absolutely. Timing an IPO is almost as important as IPO itself. January to April is peak season, is generally most popular window. Markets are fresh off the new year. Institutional investors have capital allocations to deploy. There's a long runway before summer slowdowns kick in. Most companies say Q1 2026 are really targeting March specifically. It gives them time to file their roadshow in January and February. September and November is the second best window. Say no here, that's $3. I don't know. I mean, I already said that they're not going to IPO in 2026, so why should I bet again? In fact, I should have canceled that one. I should have canceled this one. Which companies will announce IPO this year? I should have... Yeah, if I saw this, I should have bet no here before September 1st, because it's still $3. And you get like November, December, and October off. So, yeah. But, I already bet. When will Apple announce iPhone 18? before 20, obviously. What? iPhone 18? Usually it's in September. Like September, October. Before October? No. Before July? No. Before 2020? Yeah. Or it could mean that they... I heard rumors that they're not announcing an iPhone at all. And they're going to release an iPhone 18 Pro. But not the iPhone 18. Man. When will OpenAI officially announce? I should have said no. Should have said no here. So it's not anytime soon. Could be 2027. Uber trips. SpaceX Starship 12 launch before April, before May. When will Anthropic release Claude 5 this year? Yes or no? No. Is Anthropic preparing Claude 5 this year? Yes. It's buzzing. The Fennec Lake developers uncovered references to a new model, codenamed Fennec, in Google Vertex AI logs with identifier reading Claude Sonnet. The date, string correspondence, A4034 binator on the Vertex model ID. What it's expected to offer, the model is said to incur only half the inference cost of leading competition models like Opus 4.5. Release strategy. Full Cloud 5 timeline based on Anthropic's release patterns. Full Cloud 5 is expected Q2 to Q3, roughly May through December. What's not confirmed? As of February, Cloud 5 is not officially announced. Anthropic doesn't play a strict calendar. They will ship when the model is ready. List the Claude models by the year and month they release. This might be an easy one. Okay, so that, I don't know. Most likely yes, which is a 96% chance. 23 is Claude 1. A few months later is Claude 2. 24 Claude 3. 25, no. 25 Claude 4. 26. So obviously this year they're gonna release it. How much will the Steam machine cost? Steam machine. Steam Deck. Cost between 500 700 for base models, with higher end configuration reaching 900 to 1000, with 600 to 700 considered likely, albeit high range. Steam machine. It looks like it's going to be pretty cheap. Tesla Roadster delivered this year. Yes. Which bank would take Kraken public before 27? Citigroup. Can I bet no? No, I can't. Can I bet no for JP Morgan? $3. Also, it says before 27. What does that mean? Before January, so this year. Which bank will take Kraken public? Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan lined up to lead underwriters for IPO. Will Trump cut corporate taxes? Probably. Will Meta release Llama 5 this year? Probably. List the Meta's Llama updates by year and month they were released. Will Meta release Llama 5 this year? 2023 Llama 1, July Llama 2, 24 Llama 3, 25 Llama 4, Llama 5, no official date yet, expected sometime in 26. So the chances are yes. Oh, that's 32. Dude, do $3. What? It looks like they're going to release it. Meta's roughly annual cadence is expected sometime in 26. I want to say yes. Okay, so there's a bidding war going on. Just buying dollars. If Meta releases Llama 5 before 27, the market resolves yes. They should. They just should. PS6 announced. When will Discord officially announce an IPO? Probably soon. Right, who will be the next CEO of X? We don't even know if it's Elon Musk 16%. Can I vote no on that? Can I say no? It's not worth it. Boeing Deliveries, who will be the next CEO of Apple? Whoa. They're already talking about it? Who the fuck is John Turnus? This guy, oh. I've seen him a few times. Who will acquire Pinterest this year? Pinterest is getting acquired? Pinterest? Why? The OpenAI angle. Pinterest stock jumped 3% after the information predicted OpenAI will acquire by 26, calling it OpenAI's biggest acquisition yet. Why it makes strategic sense. Pinterest is essentially a visual search app disguised as a social platform. Users save images of things they want to buy, cook, and wear. An acquisition would give ChatGPT a massive visual commerce layer. I don't think it's going to happen though. I say no. Get $1 back. Meta. Yeah, no. Spotify monthly active users. What flavor will Jewel launch? Will Elon purchase Ryanair? Probably not. 10 Tesla Optimus released this year? No. Will XAI release video games before 27? No. Which bank will take SpaceX public? Citigroup, JP Morgan. I don't know. Will Bethesda release a new Fallout game? When will Deal finally announce an IPO? What is Deal? Global People Platform. View price? What is this thing? Oh, connection to people. Okay. See it in action. What do you do?
As your enterprise scales, that's where expert in everything from compliant workforce, AI tools, and flexible and compliance market, or regulations, work, enterprise level security.
Okay. Will Rippling win its lawsuit against Deal? No. Yes. What is going on here? Jamie Dimon leaves JP Morgan Chase. What? No. It's unlikely. Maybe 2028. Will any of Google, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, or X accept crypto for any of their services, core services? I mean, either ways, it's not worth it. Which companies release fully AI-generated multi-episode scripts? None of it. Fully AI-generated multi-episode scripted series. Fully AI? So not even a human can touch it. That would be stupid. When will Rippling officially... What the fuck is Rippling? HR payroll, spending solution, Rippling's mastermind error. Employees get more done with Rippling. I don't care. When will Airtable officially announce IPO? Courts consider Apple a monopoly? Probably not. But it's not worth it. Who will be the next UN Secretary General? Will Dodge release a new Challenger Hellcat EV market share in 2030? It's not even worth it. It's in the ones. Who will replace Jamie Dimon? Probably nobody. Meta headcount in Q1. It's not worth it. Will New York City subway ride ship reaches pre-COVID? Okay, let's go back into politics. Financials? Tech and science? Will US confirm that aliens exist? No. Like, despite everyone saying, like, there's aliens out there, if you had to place your money on it, chances are there's no aliens. Best ad this month? I already said Claude. What will be the top AI model? I already said Claude. How many launches will SpaceX have in February? US grants license for nuclear reactor before 27? Yes. Yes. Yes, they should. How many launches will SpaceX have? Did I even read it? What's the condition? If Nuclear Regulatory Commission has issued new combined license authorizing construction and operation of nuclear power facility, market resolves yes. Outcome verified by Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Okay, so this is going to be the site. I didn't even read it. I said yes. That's kind of stupid of me. When will Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket launch? Which AI company will have the best coding model? Obviously Anthropic. Which company? Again, Anthropic. This year? By the end of 2026. Which AI company will have the best one? Wait, so if I bet Google, it's $8. Outcome verified on livebench.ai. Okay, so I see what's going on. So these people are going to rig it. So the people that make this site is going to go in Kalshi, and they're going to place their bets. And by the end of the year, Livebench, the people that make it, is going to rig the site so they actually win. So I see what's going on. Should I just bet Google though? Should I just bet Google? I mean, it's like 1 to 8. Will Apple release a MacBook with cellular connectivity before 27? No. That's stupid. Keep it on your phone and then connect it to hotspot. When will XA release Grok 5? Will Anthropic release Cloud 5 this year? Obviously. NASA lands on the moon? Never. Will FDA approve psychedelic substance for medical use before 27? Psychedelic substance. I maybe, but it's not worth it. Humans colonize Mars? No. Dude, how the fuck are you gonna check? It's in 20 fucking years. 20, 30 years. How are you gonna check? If humans have self-sufficient colony of at least 10 people reside on Mars for at least 1 Earth year before January 1st, no. No. Just no. Will any major AI company pause research for safety reasons? No. Will Chinese model be number 1? They're really good at copying. Wait, what's the ratio? $2? It's not worth it. AI capability growth before July. Which nuclear power companies will achieve criticality? Criticality. I don't know what that is. Will an AI model using new release recurrence be first released to the public before 27? What is that? What is new release? I don't even know what that is. What will be the price of the foldable phone? The foldable iPhone. Are they even going to release a foldable iPhone? Will Trump make IVF free? SpaceX land anything successfully on Mars before 2030. Okay, if it's 2030, then you're just taking my money. Yeah, if it's anything over a year, you're just taking my money and using it. Will OpenAI increase the cost of ChatGPT? No. I mean, yes or no, it's not even worth it. If I say yes, I get $1. If I say no, I get $1. It's not worth it. When will be the first useful quantum computer be developed? Will AI regulation become law this year? Will Elon make a Blue Sky account? I think he already has one. I don't think he uses it. I think it would be stupid for him to not know his competition. Okay, what if he announces that he has a Blue Sky account? Then that's $9. If Elon Musk has created a Blue Sky account before January 27, then market resolves to yes. I think he already has one. I think it would be stupid for him to not have one. But how are you gonna, like, the question is New York Times gonna announce that? What kind of device would Johnny Ive and OpenAI announce? Earphones, headphones? No. Necklace? Maybe. Will a human and robot walk on Mars before human does? Maybe. Which AI will hit 1550 on text arena, Gemini Claude? What will the average number of measles cases be? New York Times wins OpenAI lawsuit. Starship. Wait. They have a lawsuit going on. They have a lawsuit going on? Yes. One of the most consequential legal battles. How it started. 2023, the New York Times sued OpenAI on Microsoft and U.S. District Court for copyright infringement. The Times alleges the company used millions of its copyrighted articles to train their AI models without consent, causing economic harm by pulling users away from its paywalled content and impacting advertising revenue. What the Times is demanding demands destruction of all GPT models and training sets using its copyrighted works, with potential damages reaching billions of dollars. The Times also sought 120 million ChatGPT conversation logs, later negotiated down to 20 million. The big recent development: OpenAI lost. U.S. District Judge Sidney Stink affirmed an order compelling OpenAI to produce the entire 20 million log sample, not just the cherry-picked versions implicating Times work that OpenAI wanted to hand over. This was a significant discovery victory. Privacy battle. OpenAI's defense, where things stand now. Summary judgment is set to conclude in April, which will be a major milestone. After that, the case should either settle or head towards trial. The stakes are enormous, not just for OpenAI, but for the entire AI industry. Ruling against OpenAI could force every major AI company to renegotiate how to train their models on internet data. New York Times wins OpenAI lawsuit? I don't think so. It's not even worth betting it. I'm gonna pass. Will Blue Origin land on the moon before SpaceX? No. U.S. test scores in reading. Significant increase. No significant difference. This is probably the most likely one. If U.S. average test scores for 8th graders experience no significant difference, the market resolves to yes. What is a significant difference? I mean, yeah. Yeah, seems right to me. 2, yes. Will the US start the process of building nuclear power data centers on a military base? Yes or no is not worth it. When will nuclear fusion be achieved? Too far to know. Will 2 SpaceX Starship dock together before 28? Don't know. Will OpenAI Johnny Ive device have a screen? I don't think it should. But if I say yes, it's $3. What do you mean a screen? Maybe it's like a clock, like a digital analog clock. Type 1 diabetes, too far. Will SpaceX test is HLS? How bad will CO2 atmosphere concentration get? It's too far. Politics. Democrat nominee for president. I think I already bet on it. I said Gavin Newsom. And US president election winner. If I say no, that's $1. If I say yes, that's $3. I don't know. We could also have like a dark horse candidate. Like Donald Trump runs for a 3rd term. Kamala Harris, no. Pete Buttigieg, probably not. Ron DeSantis. I don't want JD Vance. Like, it feels like he's being groomed in, right? Like, they're really pushing this guy in the positive stuff. And when Trump is facing backlashes, he's like all of a sudden out of the screen. So, I don't know. What will Mark Carney say during his press conference? China. Is it already over? Is it over? I think it's over. US President election winner Ali Khamenei. No. What would Trump say during the State of the Union? When is this? Should be soon. Oh shit. This is next week. Oh shit. Affordability hoax. That's what he's gonna say. I don't think any of these are worth it. Trillion. Right, if I say no to trillion 15, ICE, National Guard. He doesn't say National Guard a lot. I might as well, right? Or ICE agents, that's what he says a lot. Fraud. The hottest country ever. That's what he says. Woke DEI, fentanyl, cocaine, nuclear. The nuclear option. I don't think he's gonna say it. 250 what? On the 250th anniversary of America, I can see him saying that. The Trump tax credit. Yeah. I can see him saying it. Transgender surgeries. We ended 8 wars. He says that a lot. Maha. You know what? I don't think he's going to say it. I don't think he's going to say Maha. I think he's going to try to take credit for it. Yeah. Vaccine, autism, drill baby drill, and anything below that is not worth it. I also don't think he's going to say nuclear. Yeah. I can see him not saying it. That's what I'll say. The US GDP has reached $30 trillion. Yeah. And this is going to be our last one, I think. We have 57 cents left. That's okay, that's it. That was the last one. Alright, so how's it looking like? We said US test scores in reading this year is going to have no significant difference. Meta will release Llama 5 this year. Yes. China unemployment rate this month is not going to be above 5.1. It's going to be $3. Republican nominee for president is going to be Marco Rubio. US grants license for new nuclear reactor before 27. I said yes. Which company will officially announce IPO this year? I said no to OpenAI. And I said no to SpaceX. What would Trump say during the State of the Union? I said he's not going to say Maha. He's not going to say nuclear. GDP growth in 2025 is going to be either 2.6 to 3 or 3.1 to 3.5. Either way, it's like the payout is too insane to say no to it, right? Yeah, that seems plausible to me. Unrealized return, what is this? How about realized returns? Total return? So far is nothing. Alright.